Welcome to the Secrets of Confident Women podcast, where you'll learn all the best tips, tricks, and practical techniques for building the confidence levels you've always wanted. With inspiring interviews, real-life examples, and game-changing insights, this podcast is for women who know that mastering the skill of confidence is one of the most important things they'll ever do.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Secrets of Confident Women. For those of you new to the podcast, my name is Jodie Bruce Clark and I am the founder of Rise Women, a business I run with my business partner Anastasia Adams, and it's a business dedicated to helping women learn practical confidence techniques so that they can increase their confidence and do the amazing things that they want to do in their lives. Now, over the previous episodes, we've started our interviews with both myself and Anastasia being interviewed. But today I am so thrilled to be interviewing my very first guest and to introduce to you a very, very confident woman and a very important woman in my life. Her name is Raquel Basusto, and she is the owner of the business Madam Foodie, which is a healthy online meal delivery business here in Sydney. She's a wife, a mother, a savvy businesswoman, and one of my long-term friends. Now, Raquel and I met at a Women in Business mentoring program, probably, oh my God, coming up to near 20 years ago. Can you believe that? And we've been friends ever since. And we try to get together every 3 to 4 months for lunch, a Prosecco, and a business and life chat where we learn from each other and pump each other up. And I swear I look forward to those lunches more than anything else. She's mentioned in my book, she is mentioned in our online course, and she's already been mentioned in earlier podcast episodes because this is the woman that is always in my corner, always positive, always playing the game of life at the level I want to play at, and always believes in me more than I believe in myself. And that's why a quarterly Prosecco with this woman can completely change my life. And it was an absolute no-brainer that she was our first podcast guest, and I can't wait for you to learn and be inspired by this awesome go-getter. So let me officially welcome to the podcast Raquel Basusto. You're here. Thank you so much.
I'm feeling a little bit emotional now.
That's all right.
Here I was all gung-ho, ready to inspire, but now I feel like, I don't know, that
You
was
will
really
anyway.
Lovely. That was, thank you.
Yes.
That was really
and just
lovely.
so everyone knows, she's actually in my home office and we are having Prosecco. So we decided, well, why not continue the trend and
Always.
let's drink and have Prosecco because that's our little
That's
thing.
what we do.
It used to be a peppermint tea and we've moved on, luckily.
Why did we do that?
I don't know.
We were young.
We were young.
What happened?
I don't know. We should have woken that up.
I know,
pretty
a long
quickly.
time ago.
Okay, so welcome,
Okay.
and I am so thrilled that you are my first guest, and
I'm
it was
so honoured.
it was a no-brainer. I know Anastasia and I, when we were talking about who can we interview, well, Raquel obviously, and then we moved on from there. So it's great to have you on the podcast. So why don't you tell us or tell the listeners a little bit about yourself, your family, and what I mainly wanted to interview you for is really the savvy businesswoman that you are. So to share some of your insights for our businesswomen listeners.
Oh my goodness. Okay, where do I start? I'm married.
Yes.
And have been for 21 years, and I've been with my high school sweetheart for 30 years.
Wow.
Which is amazing, and he's a bit of a spunk.
Yes.
And I still love spending time with him, and he's my rock and my sounding board. But yes, we do fight, and we do have disagreements. It's not always perfect.
No, of course.
But we work very hard on our relationship because I know that if we're right, everything else will be okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then I have 3 children who he made me have.
Yeah.
But I'm very grateful for them now that I've got them. But I wasn't that keen on having them because I wasn't I don't know, I just wasn't into kids really. And he really questioned me about that around 28. We've been together over 10 years. And it was time to have them. But they were challenging to have,
They
as
were.
you would probably, as you do know, you've
Yes.
been there every step of the way. Having 2 preemies and then having a normal baby, with a lot of work to have a normal baby. But
Yeah.
I've got a nearly 18-year-old, Hannah. Oh, my
Wow.
goodness. And take a breath, because that just makes me feel a little bit sick in my stomach. And then I have my beautiful 15-year-old Kai, who just turned 15. And then there's beautiful Lucas at 13.
Yeah.
So we have a house full of teenagers at the
Wow.
moment, which is very interesting.
Yes.
And I'm very thankful I have a food business, because I cannot fill these kids up.
Oh, I'm feeling the same
Honestly.
at the moment with
Yes.
the food thing. I get you.
Exactly.
And what was Madam Foodie? Where was the inspiration for that came?
Okay, so here's the truth. I had sold our business, Organics Only. We were business partners. Oh gosh, how long ago was that?
Oh my God,
I don't
I
even
don't know.
Oh, whatever, a long time ago.
So Raquel and I
Yeah.
when we so we met at a business mentoring program running completely separate businesses. Then at one
Yes.
point we decided let's go into business together and
Yep.
ran an organic food delivery business when
Oh my
a food
God.
like produce when we were like it was at the early days because
I had a newborn.
I was just
You hadn't
having
had
a newborn.
Byron.
Yes.
Yep.
Just having newborns. We had very, very small children. And then we sold that business and then have gone into our current businesses. So
Yes.
you'd sold.
So we'd sold Organics Only. I had a bit of a break. I knew I wanted to do something in food. I wasn't quite sure, because previously I had done food. I had my first business at 27 called My Personal Chef. So I knew I wanted to do something. I was making cookies one afternoon. I never make cookies. I can't bake. And I was blending the butter and the sugar with a bar mix, and I kept the bar mix on. I put my finger in and I cut my finger open.
Right.
Anyway.
Almost off. Like
Almost
not just
off.
not just open.
No.
Like a little, it wasn't a
little
nick
cut.
on the side. It was like
It was
I've
serious.
severed the top of my finger off.
I had surgery. Anyway, I was flat on my back for quite some time, which was ridiculous and frustrating. And at that time, I had just met my naturopath, Heather Elliott, because my hormones were out of control. I needed to just regroup on myself. I found her. She was into eating for your blood type.
Yep.
And that was a whole new world for me. And
Yeah.
when I was on my back, literally with his finger, I went, you know what? I think I might start a healthy food business.
Yeah.
Dealing with eat for your blood type.
Yeah.
So that's where the concept came from. I didn't know what I was doing. And at that point, my only competitor was Light and Easy.
Yeah.
Hello Fresh weren't around. Marley
No, no,
Spoon
no.
wasn't around.
No.
No one was around. So I just went, you know what? I'm going to start it.
Yeah.
So she was my first person. I guinea pigged her for 6 weeks, and then I launched in 2013.
Yeah. And that's the thing I love about you. You get an idea and then once it's clear for you, it's
I'm on.
It's on. It's gone.
Correct.
It's gung ho. It's up and running in 6 weeks. It's if in time we've had an actual chance to have a lunch, great. I hear about. Otherwise, it's like I've just started this new business.
Correct.
It's on. So
We're on.
but you don't waste time. You don't overthink. There's no overthinking
I
for you,
don't.
which a lot of women find challenging. There's a lot of overthinking, procrastination. When will I be ready? And the difference I find with you is you have an idea and you just work it out on the fly, which is really
Constantly.
when women go into business. We need to have a bit more of that. We need to go, I'm just going to jump in here and work it out on the fly. But you've
Absolutely.
mastered that.
I think through failure and success.
Yeah.
And knowing when to run, when not to.
Yeah.
Following my gut instinct
Yeah.
is my key and my superpower that
Yeah,
you talk
yeah.
about a little bit later.
Yeah.
But it's I just back myself. But I learnt that, and I will talk about it, but I learnt that from a young age
Yeah.
to do that at around 26 when I actually started my first business, when
Yeah.
there was a lot of doubt around me doing that
Yeah.
and leaving a high-flying corporate job.
Yes.
And I backed myself, and I had no other choice but just to bloody
make it work. Yeah, yeah.
And that still happens every day. So
Yeah.
even now, 20 odd years later, running my own business and being self-employed for all those years,
Yeah.
some things work, some things don't.
Yeah.
But you've just got to just back yourself, because no one else really will unless
No.
you are.
Yeah.
So that's important.
No, and that's good. It's good. It's an important point because I take a lot of inspiration for that, and sometimes just even after our prosecco lunches, go, yeah, I've just got to bloody try.
Yeah,
Like, I
just
don't
do
know.
it.
I'm not gonna be able to crystal ball whether this idea is going to work or
No.
whether this is going to be picked up until I just put it into action, which we talk about a lot in our courses and our stuff that we put out. Moving into action. But I think you're like the epitome of moving into action quickly. Like, you just get it done and get it in, and then work it out as
Always,
you go.
as I go.
Yeah.
And the team that I have now,
Yeah.
which is 10 of these wonderful women, just have learnt to fly with me.
Yeah.
Because beautiful Nadia, who's been with me for over 20 years, is a measurer, a planner,
Yeah. Well, you need
attention
her.
to
You need
detail. They're all attention to detail because I have none. And Jodie knows that. But
Yeah.
they've learnt to fly with me as well and just
Yeah.
let go of the details sometimes.
Yeah.
Just to go, come on,
Yeah.
let's go with it. And
Yeah,
that
yeah.
energy
Yes.
that you create
Yeah.
will flow
Yeah.
always.
Yeah. Awesome. No, it's inspiring, and it is a key point for any sort of women in business listening. It's such an important point to try. Just got to jump in and stop the overthinking. The overthinking is debilitating,
Correct.
and paralyzing, and you're never going to come up with the right answer. You're never going to be able to plan it all out the way it needs. Your way you hope it would be.
Never.
Sometimes you've just got to jump in and with 2 feet and know that you'll work it out as you go.
As you go along. And also in that comes control and letting go of control, because sometimes I do have a plan
Yeah.
that I'm going to back myself on, and it's so strong, but it's not the right plan. And
Right.
I can feel, I'm a huge believer in the universe and manifesting, that I'm being directed in another way, and I go, what?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just follow that way, and that way was always the better
Where
way.
you were supposed to go.
Yeah, where I was supposed to be.
Yeah. Awesome. So obviously this podcast is about confidence. I deem you as a confident woman. So, but what does confidence or being a confident woman mean to you?
So what it means to me is being your authentic self,
Yeah.
always. And that can be challenging in life,
Yeah.
from being a young teenager through to me nearly being a 50-year-old woman. Sometimes you think you need to change for people.
Yeah.
Sometimes a situation will change you. I've had my own challenges with having, as I said, my babies and having postnatal depression, having
Yeah.
post-traumatic stress disorder,
Yeah.
not letting that define you as
Yeah.
well, but always coming through as your authentic self. So when I'm always myself, that's when I'm the most confident. When I'm
Yeah.
trying to be somebody else, I lose it. I'm not
Yeah.
the person that I should be.
Yeah.
So that's definitely, and believing in yourself and always backing yourself, which we
Yeah.
just talked about
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. Because and then that's that, which we talk about a lot in our real true version of confidence. Yes, it's about walking into a room, and yes, it's about doing all the things that the body language shows, and yes, it's about the authentic self and believing but the true basis for confidence that we talk about is that having that belief in yourself that you will know that you will handle whatever comes your way. It's not that life's going to work out great. It's not that
It never does.
it
No.
never does.
No.
But it's about that real foundational belief that, you know what, I'm going to try this, or I'm going to do this, or I'm going to step into this, and then I will handle anything that comes my way.
Correct.
Yeah.
As long as you're yourself.
That's right.
Just
But
be
that's
you.
that belief in who you are.
Correct.
So when are you the most confident version of yourself?
So I'm the most confident in 3 areas. So always with my family, definitely with my family. Always with my team. I feel very confident around my team. But we're a very positive group as well, and they do lift me up.
Yeah.
Even when times when I go, what am I doing? So they will definitely lift me up. And then with my besties like you and just my core girlfriends, where I can just be myself. That's when I definitely feel confident.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you, one thing I know about you is that you are very, very focused on who you surround yourself with. And
Very.
And we've talked about this that's Anastasia's key confidence techniques that we've talked about on this podcast a couple of times, and mine as well. But but we've talked about it. It came up quite a bit in her interview, and the people that you surround yourself with that really have a positive attitude, high motivation levels. But also it's the people, like, which is where I think you and I connected so well. It's like the game that we're up for in life. Like what, it's always interesting, and we've laughed about this before, the people, I know the one key phrase that always comes up for me with you is you always used to say, "Oh, Dal, she's just a gunner. She's just a gunner." She's like, I'd get some feedback from someone or whatever, or someone would be giving me advice, and you'd go, "She's just a gunner. She's just a gunner. Do everything.
Absolutely.
Gonna do everything." But is she actually doing anything? And we've experienced this before. Getting so much advice from people who have never run business, or who have never put themselves out there, or who have never, they're not playing the same game as we are. So, I know that you're very intent on surrounding yourself with really those really positive people in your life, as you've mentioned. But what kind of impact do you think that has on you and also the business?
It's everything. So firstly, I want to go to a place of work that I love, and the people that I'm surrounded by.
Yeah.
And weirdly, I choose that.
Yes.
So, but I have been swayed in the past. So I have a wonderful team now, and I particularly choose them.
Yeah.
So it's not always based on skill, funny enough.
Yes.
It's based on their personality.
Yeah.
Whether they're a team player.
Yeah.
Whether they're kind.
Yes.
And caring.
Yeah.
Whether they go that extra mile.
Yeah.
They are so important to me, and that positivity
Yeah.
as well. But I've been swayed through my businesses of employing people who I thought were the right because of their title.
Yes.
And they weren't.
No.
And I tried to make it work. So, for example, I thought I needed to have a chef.
Yeah.
A titled chef, a trained chef.
Yeah.
And I found her, and she came into our business. And while she did a beautiful job at menus and helping us with so many areas, she had a very bad attitude.
Yeah.
Not towards our business, just because of her life that
Yes.
was going on, and that sometimes comes into your workplace.
Often.
And she couldn't. So, but it was bringing down the other team members, but they didn't want to tell me that because they loved Madame Foodie and they loved me, and they just wanted it to work as well, and they were disregarding their own feelings.
Yeah.
But I could see through that, and we worked through it, and the chef was able to move on. But from that point, I thought very clear on who I wanted to be in that workspace. So when the girls come in, I'm very strict on no negative talk.
Yeah.
If there's negativity, if for whatever reason, whether it be in their personal life or for work, come and see me personally, and we'll work through it.
Yeah.
But it's always, the music's always pumping.
Yeah.
There's always a good vibe. We crack a lot of jokes. And that's the environment that I want to be in. So business-wise, if I don't have that around me, and if they don't have that around them, we can't then on-flow to our clients and have the good energy that we provide. So, some really big learning curves there.
And it's always a learning curve, isn't it? You just find, and it is, you try to find people that fit. And, we were just talking before about having like contractors and suppliers, etc., that even we want to work with. And in the past, obviously Anastasia and I have worked with different contractors, whether it be in a marketing sense or, obviously, our book didn't work out the first round because they went bust, and, all these different things. But you want to work. We now are so intent on, even when we're employing, even a graphic designer. I mean, we've got amazing, who I got from you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Our amazing graphic designer who's just.
We often share people.
Yeah. Because, again.
Because we find the right people.
Well, once you find someone who's got that just, they're trying to have a go. They're playing the same game of life as what they're trying to have a go, but they're positive and they're into it, and they want to provide, a great job. They don't want to screw you over on price. No. It's authentic and reasonable, and we continue working with them.
Always.
And that's, and when that doesn't happen, we had some challenges earlier in the year with some marketing stuff that just, and I was like, it's so disappointing. It's so disappointing that people are up to run their business that way and be just a little bit tricky or a little bit not quite telling you exactly, or a bit underhanded. And that's, it doesn't.
It doesn't sit well with me
No.
at all. And that's why, so not only with the team, but it is my suppliers, it's the people who I deal with. It's very particular. And it may look like that I just throw everyone together and hope for the best.
No,
but with
no,
that,
you
I
don't.
don't.
No.
I don't. Definitely not.
Because it does make a difference. It makes a
Huge.
difference when you're struggling with a particular supplier, or it's negative, or it's hard, or they're trying to steal your stuff, or
Correct.
It does impact how
Yes.
you're going to approach that day.
Definitely.
And your confidence and the way you deal with your team. So it absolutely affects everybody. So tell us a time when you had low confidence, because really what we're talking about is really trying to help our listeners learn all the different techniques. And Anastasia and I have talked about lots of different confidence techniques, which we do obviously all the time. But what we wanted to do was interview other people, because we don't have all the answers, and everyone has different ways to deal with confidence and what they do. So where was a time when you had low confidence, and what did you do to build yourself back up again?
Well, I have quite a few stories.
Yeah.
But this one I feel is it's the biggest impact in my life. So I don't even know if you know this story.
Oh, do I not?
I don't think you do.
It would be
I know,
surprising if I
it would
didn't know
be.
it.
So prior to owning my own business or starting my personal chef, which was
Yeah.
around 26, 27, I had worked for amazing women. Funny enough, all my bosses were women. I had
Okay.
4,
Yep.
which were powerhouses. Like, I learnt so much from them. They were
Yeah.
amazing. One of my jobs was Qantas.
Yep.
And I worked in customer service, and I loved it. We were in a massive team of over 150 people, all my age, rocking it, all on telecalls, just having a great time. I got Employer of the Year, which was massive. I know.
Amazing.
And we got to fly wherever we wanted. Scott and I got to fly wherever we wanted to in the world.
Oh,
I know. It
Yeah.
was amazing. We chose Boracay because we would never go there normally.
Yeah.
That's where he proposed.
Oh, very
anyway,
nice.
lovely. But I knew I kept my limits at Qantas. Like, there was no more that I could go to. So I applied for a job in the paper for a very prestigious corporate travel agency in the city for a business development manager. I had no idea what that meant. I just knew that I wanted to wear a suit and work in the city.
yes.
So I went for the
As
job.
we all did.
As we did back
Yeah.
in the,
Back in the day.
20s. Yeah.
Now we're happy to have home offices in our
with my beautiful electric blanket. Oh my gosh. So I got the job. There was 2 women, and they said to me, "Do you know what to do?" And I went, "I'll be fine." I had full confidence because I thought, you know what, I'm rocking it. I was
Yeah.
Employer of the Year at Qantas.
Yeah.
I'm like 24. It's going to be great.
Yes.
I said, I'll be fine. Oh my God. So I walked in on my first day, and it was an open plan office, and there was about 12 women in their 40s plus, 40s to 60s, all looking down at me, going, basically, who are you?
Yes.
Are you serious? You're
Yeah.
going to bring in business to our prestigious corporate travel agency. They plonked a desk in the middle of them, right? And I thought, holy shit. Oh my
Yeah.
God. I felt like, and I was so, when I look back on that, I was so angry with myself that I allowed other people to make me feel so low in my confidence.
Right. Yeah, yeah.
And I went, I don't think I can do this. Oh my God, who do I think I am? I'm only 24.
Right.
I've got no skills in this area. Oh my God. I've got a budget of $3 million that I need to kick.
Yeah.
And I sat there. I had my photo of my then to be husband on my desk.
Yeah.
And they were all laughing at that. They were just
Mean.
mean.
Yeah.
Mean.
Well, entrenched. Entrenched.
Great word.
Yeah,
Entrenched
in
in their world.
In a world that they didn't want change in, which
They wanted no
many people
change.
find in the when there's changes.
So true. Especially in the workforce as well.
especially in the workforce.
And they doubt that. I could feel the doubt. So I sat there and I remember thinking, oh, shit, how am I going to even start this role?
Yeah.
Because they were all staring at me. They could hear every conversation. I would go home and cry. I'd want to quit. This is not what I should be doing. I should go back to Qantas where I was comfortable.
yes.
So I went to myself. I need to really get in control. So
Yeah.
I started listening to Anthony Robbins. That was
Right.
the first time I discovered personal development,
Right.
about building myself up
Yeah.
to be able to do this.
Yeah.
I have to do this. I need to prove to myself, not to the women, but to me, I need to prove to myself. So I went to the 2 female bosses and I said, can I move my desk?
Yeah.
I've got a lot of calls to make. I'm very busy on the phone. I don't want to disrupt everybody,
No.
which is
Yeah.
not
Whatever.
right.
But it doesn't. But you got to do. Listen, you got to do
gotta
what it
ask.
takes
Correct.
to be the person that you need to be. Right?
Correct.
So if it means you have to tell a little white lie that you have to move your desk because you know that your confidence is not going to fly while you've
right.
got the 12 people
couldn't do it.
staring at you.
I could not do it.
Then you have to do what it takes to live the life you want.
So that's what I did. So they said, oh, okay, of course, you can do whatever you want. So I moved to the opposite end. I started doing affirmations, huge.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
no one was doing anything like that back then.
No.
Listening to Anthony.
Well, I was.
Well, I know you were. I know.
We didn't know
each other.
No, we didn't know each other.
This
but
is only
that's
3 years or 4 years before.
Yeah.
3 years maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
Before I met you. And Anthony Robbins, affirmations, on the train, just listening to my cassette.
Yes.
Just going, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. So in the first year, my target was 3 million.
Yeah.
I brought in 12.
Right.
And I went, here we go.
Yeah.
Let me show you.
Yes.
I've only just started.
Yeah.
And so then I continued. In my second year, I brought in the biggest account they'd ever seen, and I turned over $40 million.
Oh my God, Raquel.
I know. It was amazing. But you know what? Like the figure was amazing, but the confidence that I got from that experience.
Yeah.
And I just went, you know what? I can do this. And that's when I decided to do my own business at the same time, because I went, if I can do this, I can do anything. And all it takes is mindset and backing yourself.
Yeah.
So I remember when I wrote my resignation letter, they all then obviously respected me because I'd given them $40 million worth of
my
work.
God.
They were there till midnight doing all the travel bookings because there was so much work. Sticking my finger up. But my bosses were always encouraging and always supportive of me.
Yeah.
And that helped as well, just have someone in your corner to support you.
For sure.
That positive voice. And I remember I cried when I resigned because I did love it. And it was a bittersweet situation, but I was ready to go and take on that scary world of being self-employed.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I have never heard that
I
story.
know. It was amazing.
I mean, I knew you were in travel and all of it. I didn't know the full desk story and
Full on.
yeah.
Yeah.
And isn't it amazing when you do have, sometimes it only takes, you only need one person that is in your corner.
That's it.
And that's why I think, our Prosecco lunches do sort of change my life on occasions, because you're sort of already in doubt and this what, and then there's someone that going, no, you're going to do that. You can do like this is, and you sort of walk away from those moments going, right, you know what? I can
do it.
I can.
I can do that. But then you have to follow it up, right, with because then doubt will set back in.
Yes.
And if you're not doing the affirmations, journaling and thinking big and just going, maybe I can do that.
Yeah.
You need a combination.
Yeah.
of them all.
And it's important. It's interesting you say about, obviously we learned, I talked about in my interview a couple of weeks ago around, the journey that I was fortunate to get on the personal development path very early because my mum was diagnosed with a brain tumor. She got that path, which was the 80s. And, I got introduced to all that stuff. But it became that level. There was like a switch of going, oh, I get it. I'm in charge of my mindset. I can make the difference here. It was like a full responsibility of one, I'm fully responsible for the life I create, the mindset I create, my thinking, and then I have to put the work in to actually
to follow it up,
to do it.
Absolutely,
it's all up to me. It's not a gene pool. It's not lucky to have it. It's
no luck.
Work. It takes work
and consistency. So you just can't do it for 1 week and go, I'm going to be amazing.
No, you're right.
Yeah, like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's that thing, we talk about it all the time, to be like, be in charge of your mindset.
Absolutely.
And yes, it does take work to be a confident woman. Like
Yes,
it does take work to be to have the mindset and the thinking and the positivity to create the life you want. It does not just turn up. You
No
have
way.
to put that work in. So what do you do now? What do you do that you know benefits to keep your confidence at high levels? What do you do now?
So
You're still doing affirmations, I know.
always doing affirmations. Always doing affirmations. I love podcasts. I love Rise Women podcasts.
Yes.
I love it. I do a lot of podcasting. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of journaling.
So when we're talking about reading, though, you're reading personal development.
Always.
You're not
I never read
we're
fiction.
We're swapping books all
Yeah.
the time. Actually, if you look around, I think I've got quite a few up there that are like sitting on my shelf. Wait, I think there's a few of yours
Yes, they
that you've given me
are.
from that I'm still
I love
yet to read.
Working through.
Yes.
I love that. Yeah, definitely. I don't read fiction unless it was, you got me onto bloody Twilight.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Twilight and the 50 Shades of Grey. That's all I've read in fiction. The rest, So I and music, like music for me pumps me up. So Tuesday mornings are my early mornings at work at Madam Foodie, and I'm in there usually by 5:30 a.m. and I am blaring that music because it just gets me ready for the day, for my mindset, and I feel confident. Like it's the energy that flows.
It is the energy.
But like just in the past couple of weeks, I did a couple of, and this is the thing, you can't ever become complacent. So the past couple of weeks I've put myself out there to try different things. It scared me.
Yeah.
But once I had done them, I felt so confident.
Yeah.
I was doing a happy dance.
Yeah.
So even though you may come across as a confident woman, there is still areas in my life that I go, I don't know if I can do that.
Yeah,
But it's only me saying that. So
Yeah, and we talk about that all the time, and what we try to talk about in this business is communicating that, yes, we are confident women, and there are days when it's hard to lift your head off the there are days. So it's not. It's people get misunderstanding that once you sort of get confidence, you've got it for good, and that's just not true.
No.
And Anastasia and I have always been very open to go, yes, we are confident women, and there are low confidence days. The only difference is we know what to do with those low confidence days.
Correct.
We know the tools and techniques to get ourselves back on track and not go into that sort of deeper spiral where it's harder to get out of those.
It's so
those
true.
moments.
So true. And that's the thing, like you can acknowledge that you're having a down day with your confidence, but just don't stay there.
No, that's right.
Right?
Get busy.
Get busy. Get
busy. Get busy with the stuff that you know works.
That's exactly right.
All right, but we know, look, going back to your business, we know there are many obstacles and challenges in business. Oh my God, because we've talked about them. We've talked about every single obstacle and challenge over the past year.
Yes.
The past
Years.
years, many years. Because there are a lot. There's a lot of changing and a lot of movement and a lot of obstacles that appear from God nowhere. How do you deal with those? How do you face when the challenges arise?
So this has been a massive learning curve for me. I am an emotional being.
Yeah.
As everybody knows. Like I wear my heart on my sleeve. I hug people. I'm very emotional. You can tell whether I'm happy or sad. But as a leader, I've had to learn not to be reactive.
Right.
So I have had to be aware that people are looking at me and looking for my reaction. So when things don't go to plan in a business, I need to remain really calm.
Yeah.
And I may look like one of those ducks, very calm on surface
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
paddling those feet really quickly
yeah.
underneath. And what I do is I regroup and I just get back into alignment and reset my mindset. So
right.
I have to do that every single time to go, okay,
Yeah.
let's work through this. So the first thing for me is not being reactive, which is a massive thing for me to do.
Yeah, yeah.
So coming back to my alignment, being in mindset, things happen all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm in solution mode a lot.
Yeah, you are a very solution-focused person.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I don't really stay there with the problem too long.
Yeah.
The problem is what it is.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I need to find a solution that will fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And do you find that that then supports, because what you've learned with the way to react and whatever, that supports your team also being able to
do the same.
manage that?
Absolutely.
And learn that.
Learn that skill,
'Cause
definitely.
if everyone just goes into meltdown, it's a disaster.
A disaster.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we're all women. We all have hormones. We've got menopause going
do.
on, and there's periods. And
Yeah.
so they have learnt to do that, because what would happen if they do have a meltdown or a panic about something? I'll just go, calm down.
Yeah.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
And let's fix it.
Yeah.
And they go, okay.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
It's okay. So
Yeah.
yes, they have learnt
Yes.
from me, but it's quite restraining for me not to be reactive.
Yeah.
So for example, and the other day something happened at work, and I did a snow angel on the wall at my office when they were talking to me, just to go, okay,
Yeah.
let's breathe through
let's
this.
just work it out. Yeah.
Yeah. Because sometimes you don't have that moment to
Yeah.
reset.
Yeah.
You're on.
And then it's
you're
funny
on.
because then sometimes I get these random texts for you because we haven't
Yes.
seen each other in a couple of months or whatever, and then this random text going, "Oh my god, this has happened. This is happening." Then this turned up, and then so there's sort of I find sometimes that you sort of download with
I
the
do.
people that you need to,
Which I
you know,
can.
which you can, and I'm just going to go, "Oh my god, keep going," it's fine, and you're a mate, whatever. But there's a bit of a download because I can tell you've dealt with whatever you've had to deal with, the challenges. And obviously COVID brought challenges into your business
Massively.
and your family and whatever. And then there was just
Here we go.
But I knew that you were going to work it out. And there's, that few time when I think you were in hospital or whatever, trying to work out who was going to run your business. And you're
Yes.
like, can you be on standby? And it was I knew that if you needed it, you knew how to solve the problem. But, sometimes it's all happening in the space of an hour trying to work out.
Well, that's right. And when I've gone into hospital in the past couple of years, it has been like a quick, I'm in hospital.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why am I
gonna
here?
how am I going to run the business?
How am I going to run the business?
Keep it
Exactly.
going. Okay, well, we all experience obviously as well negative thinking and self-doubt at times that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
What do you? I think you've probably alluded to this as well. But what do you do specifically when you go into those places to try to move yourself through that?
So one thing I do is be aware of it. So I don't suppress it because in the past I go, no negative thoughts, and try and push it down, right? But that's not healthy to do either.
No.
So I'm aware of it. I go, okay,
Yeah.
let's look at this
Yeah.
and see what's going on. And then I don't stay there too long.
Yeah.
So that's the difference of what happens. So
Yeah.
I'm aware of it. I
Yeah.
go, okay, this is what my self-talk is right now.
Yeah.
But don't stay there. You need to move on. So then I will either catch up for lunch with someone like yourself and have a really good chat through it.
Yeah.
And you always feel better after that.
Yes, for sure.
Or I get on a podcast or I do a meditation,
Yeah.
something just to get me through and just go, I can do this. Or I follow, social media. I follow some really fantastic people who have wonderful quotes and wonderful
Inspiration.
inspiration.
Yeah.
That just go, you
Yeah.
know what? Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. I just read one this morning and I went, oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
exactly where I am right now.
So it sounds like you've got a structure, which again we talk about a lot
Yes.
in my book and whatever, about surrounding yourself, obviously with the people, but also with, those people you follow online, or the books that you need, or the podcasts like that. So they're there, ready to go when, it all starts going downhill, or
Correct.
the spiral starts, happening, or the negative self-talk comes up or whatever. And it's it's easy. You don't go searching for those things when you need it then.
No.
It's already there ready to go. So you can go,
Correct.
right, I'll just put that podcast on right now.
Now.
Or you can get those quotes right now. Or
Right
put
now.
that music on, we do a playlist or whatever.
That's right.
Put those on right now
Right
to
now.
change it straight away, to nip it in the butt almost. So because what we've talked about is the spiral down. Once you go too far down,
It's so hard to get
it's
back up.
much harder. If
So
you can nip it
hard.
in the butt straight away and just go, right, I'm going on this path. Okay, let's just, catch that before it goes further.
Correct.
It's much easier then, but you need those
But that's
things
when you
around
acknowledge it. If you're in denial of it, I think it's easier to spiral.
Yeah.
Because you're in denial of it. You're not consciously knowing that you're in that space. But
Yeah.
if you're aware of it, you go, okay. And at that point, you've got a choice.
Yes.
You either keep going down that drain
Yes.
or you can step back up. And the
Yeah.
only one responsible for that is you.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So that's what I've learnt along the way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay. So what's the most important thing you've learned about running a business? I know.
Oh my gosh. So many. So many. So many. So I can't tell you how many times I've written a business plan that I never look at again.
I know.
I have a forecast.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going.
Yes.
But a business plan doesn't work with me.
Yeah.
So what works for me and running a business is definitely mindset,
Yes.
definitely alignment,
Yeah.
and my gut.
Yeah.
My gut is my biggest indicator on every level of running a business.
Right.
And
you can feel it.
always,
You can feel
always,
Yeah.
always. And it's okay to make mistakes.
Yeah.
It's okay if something doesn't work.
Yes.
It's okay because tomorrow's a new day
Yeah.
and something will work.
Yeah.
It's the ebbs and flows and not trying to get too distracted by that roller coaster
Yes.
of ups and downs
Yes.
because there are times where sometimes you can't control, like COVID
Yeah. Yeah.
just hits you.
Yeah.
Like you just go, oh my gosh. But
Yeah.
it's how you deal with it.
For sure.
And you need to know that on the other side, there's
Yeah.
hope.
There
you
is.
just got to keep going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely anyone running a business is mindset
Yeah.
and alignment.
The mindset is so
Oh,
important. And I sometimes
everything.
wonder, I can see all these programs of, learn Facebook advertising and learn
Yeah.
social media and learn how to put your systems in place. And I think, God, I hope they've all got the mindset thing before they start with that because
Yeah.
if that's not that foundation and if you don't have even the confidence in yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've worked with quite a few business women who are sort of down the path and they're trying to make it work and they realize they can't quote their prices because they don't have the
confidence.
value or the confidence.
Correct.
Like that's the beginning step. The confidence needs to be that foundation that really is the basis of get that right first and put the business on top of that.
Without a doubt.
Don't try to make, a business on top of no confidence is a very shaky scenario.
Very shaky
Yeah.
because not only are your team looking at you, but your
Yeah.
clients are looking at you
Yeah.
and they want to buy from someone who's confident
Yeah.
in themselves
Yeah.
and in their product.
Yes.
If you're shaky and you can't
Yeah. Quote for yourself.
quote
Yeah,
for yourself or see your value,
Yeah.
people see through that.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. Now, you've mentioned already you have a teenage daughter.
Oh, I know.
I've got one in 2 weeks.
I
A week.
know.
A week.
Wow.
Just
Oh
less
my
than a week.
gosh.
Well, actually, by the time this podcast
Yes, she
goes
will
to
be.
air, she will be a teenager.
Correct.
So we'll like to, I talked about this and Anastasia, we brought this up in our individual interviews because it is important. I think a lot of women out there have daughters and sons, but we have daughters and it's for all the kids. But what's the one thing that you want her to know that you wish you'd known as a teenager in regards to confidence?
So the one thing, and we talk about this between Hannah and I, is people will love you.
Yeah.
And people may not like you.
Yes.
But do not change
No.
for anybody. Be your true, authentic self, which I have talked about through this whole podcast. Because if you're just yourself and you're kind and you're
Yeah.
caring and you have good values,
Yeah.
everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
And Hannah is such a beautiful, even though she's, typical teenager and a
Yeah.
very messy room. But anyway, which drives me crazy. She has such a beautiful soul.
She has, yeah.
She really does. And she has kept true to herself and could easily get caught up in this Instagram world that they're growing up in, which we
Yes.
didn't have.
No, we didn't know.
Or Facebook world. And that can be very confusing and misleading. But somehow we've managed to keep her grounded and she's found her own grounding in herself. And leaving school, which is such a huge thing at 18, to go into uni or go into adulthood,
Yes.
if that's the one thing that she can do,
Yeah,
I just know.
Yeah.
And she's got an amazing group of friends, has just found a really nice boyfriend.
Oh, good.
But shares the same values.
Yes.
Knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
Which was so important as well. So that's
Yeah.
definitely. And I think my mother, when I was a teenager, I could see that in her, but she never told me that. I had to
Yeah.
work it out for myself. And sometimes you need to hear it
Yes.
to know it.
Yes. And our daughters
Yeah.
hear a lot.
They do. They do.
Like Anastasia, we were like, yes, well, they're gonna hear about it.
They hear
I know
all
it was
of
funny. My son, Byron, said the other day something about, he's like, Mum, and they were talking about neural pathways, which is like what you talk about all the
Yeah.
time, or something.
I love
or he
it.
said, no, that's right. He said, I'd forgotten. Anyway, I was busy in the morning. I had a client in America, whatever, and he came in the afternoon. And he said, Mum, you forgot to make my lunch. I'm still making his lunch.
Yeah,
Poor
yeah.
his little cheese sandwich that he's had for
No, non lasagna.
no,
Yes.
but he had his little cheese sandwich that he takes he's just the same lunch every day.
Love him.
And but I forgot as I do. I think we'd come back from school holidays and I hadn't got back into
Yes, the routine.
But he said, Mum, you just need to build you back up your neural pathway about making my lunch. And I was like, oh my God, the kid's 10 serving it back to me about these neural pathways.
Good.
Anyway, it was fun.
Good.
Okay, so now we're going to finish with we've written some our Rise Women final power questions, which both Anastasia and I answered. It's funny. It's funny. We want to do this with all our guests just to get a bit of insight into our guests on a different level. So what do you wish every woman knew?
How to eat well.
Yes, you would.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
To stop counting calories.
Yes.
To stop overthinking everything.
Yes.
Like, it is my passion in life.
Yes.
To teach women how to eat well and not
Yes.
overcomplicate it, and have a good relationship with food.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. What's your superpower?
My gut.
Yes, you mentioned that
Always.
a few times. You was, and it is you rely on it a lot. I
do.
know you really listen to it, and that's important to really, because it usually tells you what's happening. It's always right.
It's
just
never
when
failed me.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever.
Heels or flats?
Heels. Not that I've got anywhere to go these days.
Me
because
neither.
I know.
I know.
And they hurt, but
I know.
I love them.
I know.
Yeah.
Same. Your favorite quote or rule to live by?
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've got 3 of my favorite quotes.
Okay.
Of course I do.
Of course.
When you know better, you do better.
Yes.
Oprah.
Yep.
Love her. We've always loved
always,
her forever. Choose courage over fear.
Yes.
Brene Brown.
Yep.
I have that in my room, Scott and I's in our bedroom, because every day there is fear of something.
Yes.
But choose courage always. And then the other one is, if it does not challenge you, it will not change you.
Yeah, good one.
That's massive for me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then and I mean challenge. It doesn't have to be like really hard, but
No,
if it's
but-
not going to shift you,
Yeah.
it won't change you.
Well, if you're not learning and growing all the time, what are
Correct.
you doing?
What are you doing?
Sitting at home watching
Yeah,
freaking
no,
reruns
easy.
Netflix for 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I'd like to do that sometimes.
Oh, well, sometimes.
Yes,
but
sometimes.
We'd be bored.
We
wouldn't
would be
Yeah.
bored.
We'd
Yeah,
be
yeah,
out of it.
yeah.
You'd be trying to take over Netflix or create another business out of something.
You know that happens.
Who inspires you and why?
Oh my gosh. I have so many women in my life that inspire me. And I was like going through the list, and I thought there's too many to name, but what the common denominator is, women on a mission.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it doesn't need to be business.
No.
It might be their health, or resetting their exercise, or regrouping
Yes.
their family, or whatever it may be, but just having a mission and seeing it through and not being a gunner.
Yes.
So that's huge.
a doer.
A doer
Yes.
is
Yeah.
very inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
definitely.
Okay, and finish this sentence for our final question. If I had even more confidence than I do now, oh my God, this might be scary. If I had even more confidence than I do now, I would.
Be a rock star.
Would you?
Yeah. In arenas singing
love-
songs.
Except I don't think you can sing that.
I can't
Dove.
sing, and
That's fine.
everyone knows that.
But
at
it is
Madame
an
Foodie.
inspiring. It is.
That's my.
I'd
my
love
God,
it too.
I'd love it. And I just watched that doco with Adam Lambert. Have you
Oh,
seen
yeah.
it on Netflix?
No, I don't think so. Oh,
Oh my God.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Life changing. Watch it. It's amazing on all levels.
Okay.
But that would be if I really had the confidence, over more confidence.
To wing it, to just go.
I'd
for
do it
Yeah.
and learn singing. I'd love to go and learn how to sing, but I'm a bit scared.
Okay. Maybe that's something you should do as you take on
know.
the next decade of your life.
I know. I should.
Got to do a few lessons.
Yeah, I will. Stay tuned.
Okay. That'll be the next one when you.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll interview you next time.
Okay.
Well,
Done.
Raquel, thank you so much for being here today and sharing your thoughts and your stories with us. I'm so grateful to have you in my life. As I said, it was a no-brainer that you were one of our first podcast episode interviewees, because you do, those Prosecco lunches sometimes have changed my life.
Oh, yeah, same. There's always tears.
There's always tears. And we're always on the second Prosecco. Like our little coffee, the coffee shop man knows us now. It's like, oh, you two are back. Okay, fair enough. But it's important because it's that I and that having you in my life gives me, as I said in the beginning, you and I said in a podcast episode, I think it was episode number 5 or something around your cheer squad. It's like, I know that I could turn up to that lunch and say, oh, I'm thinking about running for president of the United States. And you could go, oh, my God, amazing. Yes, perfect. You were born for that.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't think anything I could actually say that would rock your world to the point where you would discourage me. So they're the people that you do want in your life when sometimes you are taking on, which is the game you and I want to play. We take on things that do seem somewhat impossible or do seem out of our reach. And there's plenty of people who will tell you it'll never work and you'll never get there. And you need to find those people that go, oh my God, amazing. You were born to do that. That is your destiny.
That's all you need. And you don't need a cheer squad as in thousands of people.
No.
Just the one or two, just to give you that little bit of step up.
Yeah.
But while I've got the microphone,
yes,
and my last words, I just want to say how natural you are in this position.
Oh.
Like, oh my gosh, Jodie Bruce Clark, interviewing, and so natural in your questioning and the flow. And
thanks,
I'm
doll.
really proud of you.
Thank you, doll.
I am.
Well, I've always wanted a microphone in
I
my hand.
know.
It's my go-to
I
thing.
know.
So I don't know why I didn't think of podcasting any earlier than I have. It's
No.
like, God,
It's so you.
Yes, I love it. So it's been great having you here. Thank you for coming and sharing your wisdom. And I just want to thank everyone for listening today. And please remember to subscribe to this podcast. Please leave us a rating and a review. It makes such a big difference to getting our message out there to the women in the world that we want to reach. Or you can go to risewomen.com and look up all of the resources and programs we have that can help you build your confidence. And until next time, remember, with confidence, anything is possible. Bye for now.